Hi and welcome to the wilderness. This is a remote overnight survival test. You can find out what the wilderness taught me about real preparedness. What if you had to rely on only what you packed? To eat, to drink, stay warm, and to find your way with no cell service, no backup, and no option but forward. In this video, which you asked for in a poll I took, hey, thanks for taking part, by the way. We take you on a real overnight wilderness trip where every choice matters. What to pack, what to eat, and how to cook a couple days worth of calories miles from help. But what can a trip like this teach you and me about surviving a disaster back home? We're going to find out. We hiked miles into the backcountry where there is no cell service to test survival and preparedness skills in real-world conditions. There was elevation gain, there was cold temperatures, we got down under 40 degrees, and full self-reliance. Nothing simulated, no creature comforts, except what we carried on our backs. And while bears live out here, yes, we took precautions. The bigger test is how we'd stay fed, warm, and hydrated with what we carried on our backs. You might be surprised what a single freeze-dried meal teaches you about long-term survival. More on that later. Let's get on to packing and planning. This is important in disaster preparedness as you need to be ready to go when the time comes. So our goal for this trip was to stay lightweight but capable. Every item had to earn its place. I see so many people put so much stuff into a bug-out bag that it becomes a 50-pound bag and it becomes very difficult to move that around unless you're in really good shape. So lightweight tents or a tarp shelter, which you'll see in a minute, with good insulation layers for clothing. A compact sleep system. A small stove and fuel. Freeze-dried meals, energy bars, and a few clever hydration tricks using MRE components. We planned for about 25 to 3,000 calories per person per day. Dinner coming up was an amazing freeze-dried beef rotini pasta, and we also had some Southwest chicken and rice, but I'm going to show that when we get to mealtime. But the key wasn't just eating, it was how we boiled the water, conserved fuel, and reused heat. So let's set up camp. We found a quiet, elevated site with natural windbreaks and good drainage. It was actually quite windy when we arrived, so we had to make sure that we were protected from the wind somewhat. So this is crucial when you're expecting overnight lows below 40 degrees. When it gets close to freezing and you've got wind, you need to take that into consideration. Choosing to go lightweight can be all the difference in your comfort level. These lightweight military half shelters, which are kind of like a tarp, or a backpacking tent sure make the hike in better. It's just not so much weight to carry. We set these up with the closed side toward the wind for shelter, which happened to be coming off the lake. We divided into two teams. One team set up their shelter, while the other team procured and processed firewood. This was in a remote area that you could find your own firewood, so we looked for good standing deadwood, a ways from camp, and carry it back. If you divide into teams like this, say for example 2 people getting firewood and 2 people setting up camp, people don't get as tired from sawing or splitting wood. If this is getting you hyped for camping or disaster training, hit the hype button And hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already for more real, practical, and timely disaster preparedness and survival content. We built a fire using the top-down method. Bigger split logs on the bottom, medium in the middle, and kindling at the top. I learned this method a couple years ago to use in our wood stove. It helped it draft better as the fire was elevated right up into the chimney flue. I'll never go back to the old way. It lights faster, burns cleaner, and it's easier to manage. We prep meals away from tents. It's just good hygiene and safety. Even without active bear in the area, it's still the best practice. I'm going to share something in a minute that most people get wrong about freeze-dried meals. Let's get into meal prep and hydration. Boiling water at altitude takes longer and it burns more fuel. But in this case, it didn't seem to be a noticeable issue here. We used an isobutane stove with some wind shielding to minimize cook time. We also set up a wind shield and also a heat reflector for our fire. So it was multi-purpose. We had a reflector made out of logs that also shielded the fire from the wind, which really helped because, like I said, it was pretty windy when we got there. And we also set our backpacks in front of the wind so that the stove didn't have to work so hard as it was heating our food. It paid off. So here's a pro tip when it comes to rehydrating freeze-dried food. You can add just under the recommended water amount and let it rehydrate a little longer with you put a towel or you put a sweatshirt around it or something like that, and you will save fuel and your food will not be as soupy. It's an amazing little tip. It just helps at the right time. Yeah, that's nice beef. We also brought powdered electrolyte mixes, the kind that you get in MREs. Hydration isn't just about water, it's about absorbing the right minerals at the right time so that you have optimum performance. Every person helped filter their own water supply with this Katadyn Hiker Pro water filter. It's lightweight and fast, and every bottle was done with care. This is really important because one mistake here means the end of your trip. This point really relates to disaster preparedness and training. And by the way, you can find some of the gear you see us using in this video, as well as amazing freeze-dried food in the description. Get some gear and food for yourself, and I thank you for supporting me and my family as I try to bring you this real content. As night fell, temperatures dropped below 40 degrees, but hot food and warm drinks gave us more than calories. They give us comfort, stability, and confidence. This is really important as well in a disaster scenario. It's good training. This was a clear night, which gave us all the perfect starry sky. We often talk about calories in survival, but never underestimate the power of morale. A hot drink at night, a solid meal in your belly. Those are game changers. You learn a lot in that darkness. What worked, what didn't, and what you wish you had packed. I'll tell you what I missed on this trip in a minute, and what honestly you didn't need at all. One of us made a major packing mistake that almost cost them comfort for the night. That was me. I made the mistake of not bringing a warm enough hat to sleep with. I brought my summer hat. This trip got really close to freezing at 5 o'clock in the morning. I needed my warmer hat. We all made it to the next morning without anything major happening. I woke up a couple times in the night because I was a little bit chilly just because of the hat that I had the wrong hat. But I was amazed every time I woke up. I got to look out of this simple tarp shelter and just see the stars and the trees in so much beauty over the lake. It was just an amazing, amazing scene. The next morning was chilly but clear. As you can see by the lake, it was cold, so the water was actually steaming quite a bit. And it was the perfect time to filter a bunch of water for the next day. So that's what I did. After we cooked another freeze-dried meal and enjoyed that, and enjoyed our coffee, and enjoyed all of the warm drinks, just being there, it was just an amazing experience. We loved it, and I love every time we go out. After this, we packed up because we had something amazing to go to. It's a remote waterfall, so we had to hike deeper into the backcountry to find this hidden waterfall. A reward for our effort and a reminder of just how remote that we really were. There's something humbling about realizing how far you are from everything and how freeing it is to know that you can still take care of yourself. I think this is an excellent thing to do with children, with teenagers, because it gives them confidence that they can't get really any other way. It's by experience. We didn't have a fancy kitchen or a fridge, no takeout, just preparation, planning, and heat that we actually earned by using our muscles. This trip wasn't just about survival. It was about building skills under pressure. We learned how to fuel our bodies. Nobody else was gonna do it for us. We learned to keep our morale up, to rely on tools that work when nothing else will. Our water filter kept us safe. It gave us clean water to drink, and it was amazing. Our freeze-dried meals worked if you know how to use them right. We had amazing food the entire time, so tasty. Hydration is a strategy. It's not just water. A lot of times when you sweat, when you're working, when you're doing things, you need that salt, you need the magnesium, you need the potassium. So having hydration is really important. Also, we learned the division of labor is so important. Firewood and camp setup. Have that into 2 different work crews. Hey, how about cooking and cleanup crew? This makes it more enjoyable and efficient. Also, managing your boil times with the stove. That's your fuel management, and even timing your meals. They all matter more than you think. The next disaster won't wait for you to learn this stuff. Start training now, even with something as simple as your next meal outside. If this inspired you to plan your own overnight trip or to just test your gear in real life, let me know in the comments. Also, check out this preparedness video I did. It's an important piece. What's your favorite backcountry meal trick or stove tip? What do you do for a sleep system? What do you do for a shelter, especially as it relates to a disaster preparedness situation? Subscribe for more survival trips, reviews, and real-world training you can trust because it's real. We've done it. And hit the bell. Next time, we're going to push even farther. The wilderness doesn't hand out comfort, but it definitely rewards preparation.